Broadcasting live, it's Cream Pie Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
And now for your hosts, give it up for Josh and Rick.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. It's another episode, everybody. Creamers, rejoice. Rick and Josh are back for a solo-sode. And we've had a lot of guests the past couple weeks, but it's fall time, baby. It's October. Fall is in the air. Kevin James is in our memes. Dianne Feinstein's in our heart. The Vegas Sphere is open. It's an abomination. But we're here. We're queer. Get used to it. Rick, how you feeling, buddy?
I'm sick, dude. I've been sick all freaking weekend.
Oh, that sucks.
I was at work and I was starting to blow my nose, but by lunchtime I felt like shit. But
Really?
it's all right. I'll get through it. The wedding's on next weekend, so as long as it's out of my system by then, it definitely will be. So I'm not too worried about it.
That's good. Actually, perfect timing to get sick. You know, get it over with.
I got a buddy coming from Wisconsin. And he said his fiance has COVID right now. I'm like, well, if you don't have it, you should probably get it. And then by the time you're out here, you're fine. But I'm not worried about it. COVID's not a real thing anyway. So canceled.
Canceled.
It used to be, but nowadays it's like, fucking, give me the cold. I had it like last month. I had a cold for 2 days, you know? But
I mean, I didn't even consider taking a COVID test because by this point I don't really give a shit.
yeah,
It's just like I'm sick. If it is what it is, dude, I don't really care.
it doesn't matter. I mean, a lot of common colds are coronaviruses. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it is what it is. It's a virus. It's a cold. You get over it.
So you already just brought this up, but can we touch on the Kevin James meme? Because that
Yeah, what is going on?
I saw that once and I have never stopped seeing it on my phone now. It's just everywhere, dude.
Dude, I'm so glad that it's happening to you too, because I was talking to some comics this week and I'm like, are you guys getting bombarded with Kevin James memes? And they're like, no, what are you talking about? And then Lita, I like, dude, what is up with Kevin James? And Lita's like, I don't know what you're talking about. So it's like just a select few people are getting fucking bombarded with Kevin James memes. I don't know what's going on.
Well, I sent you that thing over Instagram of Maryland, the football team, put that up on the scoreboard when they were kicking a field goal.
Is that real though?
That was from ESPN, yeah.
That's hilarious. Dude, if I was a kicker and that was like right between the goalposts, I definitely would have been distracted.
You just whiff it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. Dude, the king of memes. King of Queens is now the king of memes.
I would say I've never seen the King of Queens, but I assumed it was from that show. Because is that meme is that a picture from 20 years ago? Is that how old that is?
It's gotta be, at least. Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's actually in the show or if that was like a promo picture for the show or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like an ad or something.
Because I was never really aware of Kevin James until I now pronounced You Chuck and Larry with Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Up until that movie, I had no idea who that guy was.
Well, if Chris Farley never died, Kevin James wouldn't exist. Think about it.
That's true.
Like, how much better would Grown Ups be if it was Chris Farley instead of Kevin James? You know?
God's just sitting up there and it's like, all right, well, I'm going to take Chris Farley, but let's give you a Dollar General version of him. And you can keep him. Well, you'll have the Chris Farley just minus the obnoxious drugs.
Yeah, minus all the, yeah. It is mean to say, but they're just so similar, like, you know, comedically fat, athletic guys.
Yeah.
You know?
It's kind of cool because Chris Farley came from Wisconsin and then Adam Sandler came from Manchester. So when I moved out to New Hampshire, I thought it was kind of cool that I was like, I lived in the two spots with those two guys, which is kind of neat.
Mm-hmm.
Not that they have the biggest relationship, but it's neat.
Yeah. New Hampshire has like 5 famous people. That's it. Steven Tyler, Aerosmith from New Hampshire.
Sarah Silverman, is she from New Hampshire?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Adam Sandler. I think that might be it. Honestly.
Yeah, that 5 just went down to 3.
Yeah. It's a small state though. It's a small state and it's like 99% white. What are you gonna do?
So I just want to address this now. I'm wearing a safety vest.
Yeah.
If you're wearing orange, you know how hard it is to get hit by a car when you're wearing blaze orange? I'm quoting Sam on this one. and we say, you sure about that?
Yeah.
Sure about that?
Yeah.
No, I'm wearing this because Safety 303 came out on Friday, and that was a project that you and me both worked on. So,
oh yeah,
little shameless plug. I'll throw the link in the description if you want to see it. It's already at like 40 views, so I'm basically blowing up the internet, dude.
God damn. Yeah, I made that. When did I make that? That was a while ago, huh? Forget.
Yeah, you gave me the final mix like beginning of June, and it took me a little while to get it done. So
it's October, baby.
Yeah.
And I'm Batman. And I just woke up. I slept in this shirt. Rick woke me up.
That's a cool shirt, dude.
This shirt?
I'm hoping that it is far enough away on the color spectrum than the green screen. Otherwise, you might just have a hollow chest all episode.
Nah, it should be good. It's pretty yellow. Pretty yellow.
I'll figure it out. I was actually thinking about it. I might invest in buying a blue screen too. So and then that way I can wear green and then use, because you can use either blue or green. Well, you can use any color really, but those are typically the least used colors in clothing. So
right. Oh, that makes sense.
That's why they do it. Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, what color do people not wear ever? Oh, green. We'll just make it a green screen. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, yeah, dude, the fucking the Vegas Sphere opened this past week, or like a couple days ago. I saw that U2, of course, who the fuck else would open this? It's got to be U2.
Yeah.
It's always fucking Bono up there wearing skin tight leather pants, singing about how evil the world is, how awful capitalism is, while he's making millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's up there. He's got like a little kid from Africa, and he like rips the microphone out of his hand and boots him off stage. hello. Goodbye.
Yeah. Fuck Bono. Fuck you too. And fuck you too. Am I right?
I think that that South Park episode where they found out Bono was actually a turd that the guy raised from a dookie up into Bono. That's that might be real. He might be actual like a piece of shit. That's just grown into a bigger piece of shit.
I mean, he's definitely a piece of shit. There's no doubt about that. I just don't like that. I don't like these guys. If you want to be an activist and you want to talk about shit, fine. But just explain, give me some ideas of how we can fix it. Like, what's the alternative? You know? What's the solution here? Is the solution for you to just cry about how evil America is when you made all your money in America? You literally came to America and made a shitload of money, and now you're crying about how evil? If it's so evil, then give away your money. Give away your success. You know, I know, I understand Bono probably does donate some of it, but how big does this fucking yacht need to be? You know what I mean? How many mansions does he need to own?
Yeah, I mean that's just to keep bringing up South Park. That's like when they're going around and they were downloading illegal music, and they go to Lars Ulrich's house.
Yeah,
and he goes, he wanted a diamond and gold encrusted pool, but instead of getting it next week, he has to wait an extra 3 months.
Yeah, and he's just crying in his pool. No, yeah,
fucking facing his hands, just bawling his eyes out.
Yeah. Oh man.
So I'm hoping you saw this. Did you see Britney Spears dancing around with the knives in her hands?
I did. Yeah.
Is she relevant, or is she doing that to be relevant? I don't know what's going on anymore.
Well, there's a lot of videos of her dancing since the whole what's it called? The thing with her dad there. You know, remember the whole Free Britney campaign?
Yeah.
What is that called? Conservativeship, I guess. Concert.
Yeah, that's the same thing that Michael Orr, the football player, got from his you know that whole story, the guy that played for the Ravens like a decade ago?
Yeah.
Based on that movie The Blind Side, his parents basically like made him sign a contract so they got all his money.
Right. Yeah,
they actually just closed that case this week, and the judge said this is the first time that they've seen a conservativeship like with somebody that isn't a minor or something. They said like, or no, what was it? I don't remember what the specific was. Basically, his situation, they're like, this is such like a weird loophole that you got sucked into, but he didn't know. I mean, he was like uneducated. Like somehow he made it to the NFL.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at the NFL, bro. I mean, a lot of those guys are not educated very well, you know? A lot of them don't know what to do with their money or their success either. It's amazing how many people go broke after they retire, you know?
I mean, you'd wish that everybody was like Peyton Manning, because Peyton Manning stuck in the college till he graduated, and then he went to the NFL.
Yeah.
But nobody does that.
Yeah. Also, they just, even if they do, I mean, a lot of these guys are college athletes that get drafted. I mean, most of them, but they're not actually studying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just there to play football. So they don't know anything.
It's kind of wild too now that the college players can get paid off endorsements and like advertisements and all that stuff. Whereas Reggie Bush had his Heisman taken away because he was doing that, and Johnny Manziel had to sit out for whatever amount of time because he was doing the same shit. It's like, it's just so wild, dude.
I'm glad they did it. I'm glad. I mean, the colleges are making so much money off those guys. It's fucking a ripoff. I'm glad that they make money now, but it is suck for everybody like prior to the rule changing. You know? Yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of like all those guys that are in jail for like weed in California right now.
Yeah,
same thing. It's like, especially the guys that got arrested for like smoking weed or like even selling a little bit of weed, like less than an ounce of weed, and that are in like jail or whatever, like right before it became legal too. Imagine like it passes like the next week. You're like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Well, I saw it was I think it was like a senator or whatever it was, but he was grilling like one of the head people of the DEA, and basically saying, well, how come it's legal from state to state but federally still illegal, which is the obvious discussion. Yeah. And she's like, well, we're working on it. It's on the table. And he's like, do you understand this is affecting people every single day? So every day that you're not doing something, people go to jail and people's lives are ruined because of this.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't believe that. And it's like, no, that's true. Like, you're sitting up there. Like, I understand like you're way up there, but like maybe you should push that to the top of the agenda. Because what else is the DEA doing? You know, I can buy spice down the street and I'll go out and eat somebody's face off. Yeah. But I mean, why can't I smoke a joint that's right across the border? You know?
Fuck the DEA. Fuck any 3-letter organization, dude. I don't like any of them. But you figure they've been talking about it since we were kids. I guess it's moving in that direction. We've had the whole weed legal discussion before, but it's just wild to me that it's 2023 and it's legal in half the country, and still there's states where you get arrested for smoking weed. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's so dumb. Yeah. You know what, though? They want people to go to jail. I think that they want the free labor. I think that there's a prison industrial complex. I think that these places make a lot of money. I think that there are prisons that lobby to make sure that weed stays illegal to make sure the prison stays full so they can make more money. 100%.
Oh, 100%. I mean, 100%. They upgrade prisons, but they don't make the living conditions any better, and they try to jam them. I mean, you think about it, we should not have, this is a stupid estimation, but we shouldn't have half the amount of people in the prison system that are in there right now.
Probably not.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, even that gets into the whole conversation about like drug rehabilitation and all that stuff. You know, if these guys are smoking crack on the side of the street and they get arrested, it's like, well, this guy's been addicted to crack for 20 years. Yeah. And you're going to make him sober up in jail, and when he gets out, he has no place to go. He has no resources.
Yeah. I think
what's he going to do?
I think the United States has the highest prison. I mean, we definitely have the highest prison population, but I mean like per capita, I think we have the highest percentage of people that are Americans that are, I think it's like 1 out of every 300 people is in prison in this country.
And I would say it's not even close. I would say number 2 is not even remotely close to us at all.
Yeah, it is wild, dude. It's a fucking industry is what it, and dude, ask Kamala Harris fucking extending these people's prison sentences for free labor in California when she was like in California doing her thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's so funny. Like, you don't trust any politician, but you just look at these guys, like their history. It's so evil. Like Joe Biden with the crime bill. It's the most racist bill ever fucking written ever. You know? And it's just the amount of fucking black and brown people that are in prison because of Joe Biden's bill, and the amount of like prison sentences that got extended because Kamala Harris wanted them to make license plates. Like, it's just wild.
Was that so? I don't know much about this. So they actually kept prisoners longer so they could keep them working?
Yeah, Kamala Harris did. Yeah.
Don't they pay them like $1.15 like per hour?
Not even. I think it's like 80 cents. Not even. It's something crazy. It's like slave. It's basically free slave labor.
I was gonna say it's just an extension of slavery.
Yeah. Imagine like being the guy that has to write that check, and he's like, all right, well, it's payday. I'll give fucking, let's see, 1,000 guys worked for me this month. All right, here's $75.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I think they definitely make license plates in New Hampshire. I think that's one of those standard things that prisoners do is make license plates. Like if you have a license plate in New Hampshire, a prisoner made it. I think that,
Well, it's funny because if you have an iPhone, a slave also made the iPhone too.
Yeah, good point.
This is America, powered by slavery. Never stopped.
Never stopped. We just exported
That's like the joke that I had a couple weeks ago. It's like I feel like a slave because I got to go to work, which is I'm not making a joke about slavery, but it's,
you got no choice though.
What's the definition of slavery? Because I know you have the word for word Webster's dictionary definition in your head.
Well, there's one thing I know about it: slaves. I don't know, man. I would say if you're actually somebody else's property, I mean that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah.
Somebody else can own you, make you do things. That would be a slave, right? I mean, I don't know. That's got to be like what it boils down to. Because, yeah, somebody that doesn't have any free will to do what they want.
It's like a child.
Well, yeah, I guess that's actually a good point. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We'd have to look it up. Jamie, pull it up.
Jamie, pull it up on the screen here.
Dude, they caught Tupac shooter.
Yeah, tell me about this. I saw that, but I don't know much about it.
Some guy named Dwayne Queef Davis or whatever. No, his actual name's Keefe Davis. But Dwayne Queef Davis, dude, fucking 27 years later, they got him. It's about time. That was quick, huh? Swiftly brought to justice. Dude, we were 3 years old when Tupac was shot.
It's just the one guy that they caught? It was just him?
Yeah, I guess he's admitted to doing it a bunch of times. And yeah, it's been like 3 decades almost. Wait, like I said, we were 3 when he got shot. So why now? What
is that
new piece of evidence came through in 27
is Suge
years?
Knight in prison right now?
Yeah, I think for running somebody over. Yeah, he's an animal.
Things don't change.
Yeah. So they caught Pac's shooter. What's going on that they want to distract us from is my question. Because it's been 3 decades. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's somebody sitting in a conference room being like, shit, like this alien stuff's gonna hit the fan pretty soon, so we gotta what can we bring this up? Let's send Britney Spears throwing knives at herself and let's find the killer for Tupac.
Leave the knives on the counter. She'll do the rest. And then what else we got here? Fuck. Bring out the Pac file. It's time to bring back the Tupac murder case. Yeah. We'll drop that out. And then we'll do another little thing about aliens here and there. Yeah.
And then the other guy sitting next to him is like, you know Kevin James? You know that show back in the day? It's like, oh, we should find a meme. And, all right, let's do it. Yeah. It's not even like it's funny because man, I'm just so glad that took over the world.
You know, it's funny.
Every time I see it, I don't get annoyed. I like just laugh at it every time I see it.
It's wild because for like a second wind in an actor's career or like a comeback story, you know, back in the day, it was like John Travolta hadn't been in anything for like 10 years. So Quentin Tarantino gets him and brings him back, rejuvenates his career, puts him in Pulp Fiction. You know, that's his second wind. That's like his comeback story. Nowadays, It's just like Kevin James's comeback story. It's just him looking like a fat retard with hands in his pockets. And like a million people see the picture or more, like millions of people see the same picture and he gets no money. And he's like, yeah, my career is coming back. It's just still image of me.
I'm hoping you know who Pauly Shore is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's very irrelevant. I would say he's been irrelevant since the 90s. I feel like that's fair to say.
For the most part, yeah.
But he's like one of these like celebrities that like they post on there and they're trying to promote themselves, and he wants to be a Richard Simmons like biopic actor because I follow him on social media and he's always like every day he says something. Oh, they always said I looked like him growing up, and oh, I'd really love to play this guy, and then I saw another one. He reached out to him. He's like, well, Richard's living out in the mountains. He's like slowly dying. He doesn't really want to be disturbed, and I'm like, and you're posting all this on fucking Instagram because you want to be relevant and play a dude who's not even dead yet. Like, I don't know. It's just, it's weird to like see celebrities fall from grace and then like anxiously try to like get back in the limelight. It's like, it's kind of depressing.
Pauly Shore is a weird one, man, because he was a decent comedian and everything, but his mom, like, I feel like he's just famous because of nepotism, you know? Like, his mom owned the Comedy Store. So, I don't know. And he was big. He was like a VJ in the 90s, and he was in like Encino Man. He was in like all those old movies. He played, what's the guy in the Goofy movie? Leaning Tower of Cheese.
Yeah.
You know, like he's all those things. But here's the thing, Richard Simmons, like, aren't they the same age?
No, Richard Simmons is a lot older.
You sure?
Yeah, he's probably in his 80s. Yeah.
Well, isn't Pauly like 60 though?
Yeah.
So they're not like, it's not like the guy's that much older. I mean, Richard Simmons is probably 75. Pauly Shore is probably 62 or whatever. Yeah, man. There used to be a magical thing where you would just know how to like go away. You know, like the art of becoming irrelevant and just going away. And then you can make a comeback and you'd be like, hey, guess who's back, bitch? You know?
Well, it's kind of weird because I follow like a lot of the wrestlers and just celebrities in general. And it's got to be strange to say the height of your career was from 2001 to 2006. And you're really only relevant for 5 years.
Yeah.
And you have to ride off that success for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're like doing autograph signings and, oh, I made you this painting. Cool. Throw it in the back of the truck. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
With wrestlers, it's real bad because, I mean, a lot of these guys get to their 50s and 60s, and the only income they have is putting on their ring gear and grabbing a baseball bat with barbed wire on it and just sitting there and just signing autographs, which is cool. I mean, athletes do it too, but that's kind of the sad part of, like, being famous, you know?
It sucks is like, yeah, especially when you're not even a wrestler anymore. Like if you're Ric Flair, I mean, he's in the weed game now. He's got like, you know, he sells weed and stuff and he sells merch. But Ric Flair like doesn't wrestle. He's old as shit. And he just like goes around like signing autographs and making appearances. And that's like his life. And he just gets on a plane, woo, you know, like. Yeah. He was actually on, do you ever watch Kill Tony? You ever watch that show?
No, I've seen it like once or twice, but I don't watch it avidly.
He was a guest this past week, so I guess a couple of weeks ago then. But this past Monday, he was a guest on Kill Tony, and he was so fucking hammered that he was like sitting there on stage, and like every time he says something, he's like stumbling his words, and like you'll barely understand him. And then he ended up leaving the show. Like he got up and was like, "I can't be a part of a show where people make fun of people. I can't do it. I refuse to do this." And then he stood up and left. And I was like, this guy was in like, he was a wrestler though. Like, isn't that what they do? Like, isn't that his whole career was like making fun of whoever he was like wrestling or like talking shit? Isn't that the whole thing?
It's kind of weird because I mean, obviously we live in like a big state of like cancel culture and all this and that. And, but I mean, a couple years ago, have you ever heard of Dark Side of the Ring on Vice at all?
No.
So they'll talk about like old wrestling stories and just stuff from history. And I mean, one of the stories was a guy that he was down in Mexico and he got stabbed in the locker room. And these guys walked out of the locker room, Tony Atlas, who was this huge jacked black dude in the 90s and 80s, saw him and he told the cops who did it. And these guys never went to jail. They like literally killed this. It was Brutus.
I heard Hulk Hogan, I think, telling that story.
Yeah.
About the guy getting stabbed.
But back to the cancel culture. So there was an episode called The Flight from Hell. And it was a bunch of WWF wrestlers on a plane waiting to do this. I think they were going across the Atlantic Ocean or whatever it was. And the flight kept getting delayed and delayed. And during this like 4 hours that they were in the tarmac, they had to go back inside to get more booze like 5 times. And so all these 300-pound, 6'6" wrestlers are loaded on this plane. And and apparently Ric Flair was real sketchy to one of the stewardess and like backed her up into the corner and basically like, I don't know if he groped her or did whatever, but this was like a full episode about this thing happening. Ric Flair's fine. It didn't affect him at all, you know?
Yeah. No, he's like grandfathered in. He's good.
Yeah. But it's like a 45-minute episode all about this and like he doesn't get caught. And it's like, this is kind of silly, dude. But he's immune. I feel like he can't get in trouble.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because it's like this guy is now, I mean, he was obviously really drunk. Maybe that's why he left for real, but he was like talking shit on Kill Tony. Like, I can't believe you guys do this. You like let comics, first of all, the comics that sign up to do the show know they're going to get made fun of. That's what they sign up for. Second of all, as comedy, like, do you not get comedy now? Third of all, the amount of things that you've done in your life have been atrocious. Like, you've done some horrible things to women, you've talked some serious shit. Like, dude, I mean, it's a little hypocrisy, you know what I mean? And I like Ric Flair too. I've seen him on podcasts. I've seen him in interviews and stuff. I think he was just drunk and was making a big deal about it. But yeah, you got to think like the amount of shit that these wrestlers used to get away with, dude, like on the road. You know what I mean? Like Aziz Ansari almost got canceled a few years ago because he went on a bad date. And the chick that he went on a date with didn't like him. And it was basically saying like how he's a misogynist and stuff, but no like accusation of like sexual assault or anything. But they tried to lump Aziz, you know what I mean, into that. And now it's like, well, look at Ric Flair. Like, what do you think he's done? What do you think the Nature Boy's done behind the scenes? You know what I mean?
And then I think it's total horseshit too, because the guys that are nice about it, I remember like the whole Louis C.K. thing. He asked the girl if he could beat off in front of her, and she said yeah. And then she like, oh, I'm gonna pull my phone out or whatever the hell she did, and it's like that canceled him for like 5 years because he asked if he could do that. Like, are you kidding me, dude?
Yeah,
I don't even ask anymore. Now I'm just in public. I just drop my pants and I just go at it, dude. I don't give a fuck.
Their argument with Louis C.K. was, oh, well, he had power over her because he was technically like the headliner and she was opening for him or something. And it was Sarah Silverman was one of the chicks that he did it to.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She says, I thought it was funny. I didn't care. She openly said that. But the fact that they lump like Louis into the same category as like Bill Cosby and Harvey Weinstein, it's just fucking unbelievable. I never got that. Like, people have like the innate inability to have gray area. You know what I mean? Like some nuance. Like it's not just rapist or not rapist. Like there's a whole spectrum here. And Louis C.K. is in the very beginning of the gray with doing something a little bit creepy that's not illegal at all. And have you ever seen Louis C.K.'s fucking comedy? He's a creep. It's part of his charm. Like, that's what he does. Like, now you're like, oh my God, I can't believe what Louis, really? You can't believe it? Have you not seen any of his comedy? But yeah, it's just crazy to me that something like that, they're like, oh man, it's crazy. Like Harvey Weinstein and Louis C.K. should not be in the same conversation. These are completely different things. You know what I mean? But Louis, it's so funny because the first time, like one of the clips I saw of when Louis came back, after he took some time off, he's like, so a couple things about myself. I like to masturbate and I don't like to be alone. And I was like, yes. Yes, he's back. Yeah. An animal. Love the guy. He's had some good specials too since he came back.
I don't know why, but like not the only joke, but the biggest joke I think that he tells is this must have been before he got canceled. But he's on stage and he goes, "You think I'm in good shape? Nah, me neither. You know, I run 5 miles a day just to maintain this shit body." And I just like was cackling, laughing. I thought it was the funniest thing to say because it's just like, well, this is a guy that's really not in good shape. And he's like, yeah, I run 5 miles a day just to maintain this orb of a fucking goo in flesh. It's like, Jesus, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, he's great, dude. Oh man, Louis is such a good show too. He might be he's definitely my top 3 for my favorite comedians. He's got some great fucking bits. He has this one bit about sucking a demon dick. I don't know if you ever heard that one.
No.
He's like, he doesn't want to go to hell, mostly because he doesn't like going new places. He doesn't know what the schedule is. You know, he doesn't know what the activities are, where to stand in line. So he just gets down there and he's standing in line. He's like, am I in the right place? I don't know. And then a demon comes by, makes me suck his dick, and I'm like, sucking a demon dick. But then what if after I'm done sucking the demon dick, a guy walks over to me and is like, hey, you didn't have to suck that guy's dick, you know? And he's like, wait, what? Yeah, and he just stands there in the hallway. He has nothing to do with your damnation. You didn't have to suck that demon dick. You're going to be sucking a lot of dick down here. Elephants, all kinds of things. You don't got to freelance in the hallway. You know? It's great. Yeah.
So man. There's some football going on today. Have you seen any stuff about this Toy Story football game that's going on?
I want to watch one of them just to see what's going on, see what the deal is.
It's on right now.
It's on Disney Plus, right?
It's they're playing the live game right now. It's the Jags and Falcons, I think.
The boys are playing today at 4:30. My dad's in Texas to watch the game, actually. They're playing the Patriots.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I'm worried that one of these days it's going to be like, I don't have the channel for the Cowboys game, but it's on Disney, and I have to watch to see the Cowboys game. I have to watch the fucking Toy Story version.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what if you don't have the channel and that's the only one you got? And then you're stuck watching fucking Army men score touchdowns and shit.
It all started with the freaking the Nickelodeon games where they'd score a touchdown and the goo cannons would go off. And but some of the you should look up some of the you'll see it eventually, but like they had the game on the top half of the screen and then the Toy Story version on the bottom, and it was 1-to-1. It was
really?
like very like even just the way the quarterback was like torquing his body, and then he's running upfield and there's like yellow smoke coming out of his feet and all these guys are flying all over. It's like, it looks pretty cool. It looks like a video game, but it's pretty neat, dude.
That's interesting. Yeah, dude, technology has come so far, I
wouldn't be surprised if Madden did something like that where like you can play as the Nickelodeon like settings or the Toy Story. That'd be a cool setting in Madden for sure.
It would be easy as fuck. It's not like you have to have good graphics,
No.
Yeah, just make it goofy looking. But yeah. I'll check it out. I'll watch one of them. I'll watch some highlights.
It's cool. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. They're like, yeah. I wonder how they do with like the skin tone and everything, Like, do they just make it look like identical?
Yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know, man. It's impressive. I kind of want to look up some of the behind the scenes and how they actually set that up, because that would be pretty cool to look at, for sure.
It's got to be. I don't know. Yeah, good question, right? I bet they just basically changed the numbers. You know what I mean? Like, they changed the numbers of who's on the field, and they basically have everything set up in a way. You know what I mean? Like offense and defense, and I don't know.
Well, they got like the claw spotting the ball, and they've got Slinky on the side for the yard marker. And
oh, really?
It looks pretty legit, dude. It does. It's kind of cool.
Sick. So I saw that. Speaking of this weird technology shit, I saw that Zuckerberg and Lex Friedman had the first VR interview this week in the metaverse. So they're both wearing headsets across the country. VR headsets, and they both look like they're in the same room. So Meta has this new thing for the Oculus, well, the Meta Quest, whatever the fuck. It's not Oculus anymore, I guess, where they scan your whole body. So like your avatar looks exactly like you, and it can like mimic your facial expressions and everything. So when you smile or like whatever. So there's a video, you should check it out. It's on YouTube. It's Lex Friedman interviewing Zuck, and they're both in the metaverse, but it looks like they're sitting in the same room. So it shows like a side by side of like them with a headset on versus like what they look like to the other guy. You know what I mean? It's fucking wild.
I'm gonna call this now. We might have to jump on that bandwagon like 2 years from now. So I'm gonna pull this up from the bowels of the internet. But
yeah,
that's ideally that's what you and me would be doing, is just sitting at home with the VR and then just letting it just do everything else.
So instead of like the FaceTime thing, it would literally look like you're sitting here.
It's just stupid, because one day we're going to look back on these and be like, I can't believe we used to do it like that. Because like right now, this is a big technological like achievement for us. But 5 years from now, it's going to be like, we look like a bunch of fucking caveman sitting over a fire for an hour a week. It's like, what the hell are we doing, dude?
It is so weird, man. Like how fast it all changes, And even this isn't like new technology, what we're doing now. I mean, we're basically using a webcam, and FaceTime's been around for like a decade. So it's not like we're using new shit and we have I've got an interface and a fucking a cardioid microphone, this vocal microphone sitting here. That's basically what we got going on,
So I did a lot of editing last week. Like, I didn't add up how many hours, but I spent a lot of time on it. And I know in the past you've put in thousands of hours, like making music and doing the podcast and all this and that.
Oh yeah.
So when you're sitting at the computer and you're just getting at it, what is your fuel? Like, what do you drink while you're doing this? Because I slugged like 8 Bud Light Limes when I was editing the one of the videos on Friday night, and I was like, man, I miss just sitting around, just casually just drinking and just sitting on my computer.
Well, it used to be vape and a vodka for the longest time. Vodka and soda and a vape, nicotine vape. I don't need that though. I haven't touched nicotine still, but honestly, it doesn't really matter for me. The one thing I do is when I'm editing, I get lost in it. So I'll sit there for 3 hours, and then when I used to do music, I used to sit there and I'll work for like 8 hours straight without realizing it, and then be like, oh fuck, I never ate lunch. Then it's like 7 p.m. and I'll be like, oh shit, I gotta eat. And I make myself stop to go eat. You know,
it's funny you bring that up because I use Google at work, and every so often they have like who's ever birthday or whoever's anniversary or whatever that crap. And one of the guys, he was like turning 89 or something, but it was some guy talking about flow and like how to go through your life for flow. And part of that whole like shtick is about getting into a sense of like what you just said. You're so ingrained in it, you forget to eat, you forget to check the time.
Right.
And like really that's how we should live all the time, of just life goes so fast because we're so caught up in what we're doing and in the moment.
Yeah.
Instead of just like sitting there and worrying and shit. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of funny that you bring that up because that was like an actual example that they had on the Google article that I pulled up for this guy's birth. It's all about flow. Oh, I might send it to you.
Flow state. Flow state. Yeah. I think that's like a metaphor for what heaven and hell really are. I think I heard this preacher talking about it, and he was like, heaven is just a concept. It's basically like when you lose the ability to focus on yourself, when you're just in the moment. You know what I mean? Like when you're not thinking about yourself at all is when that happens. You know, you're like not focused on yourself. You're focused on either the task at hand or like what's going on around you. That's the one time you can live in the moment. But when you start to think about yourself, you're either thinking about your past or you're thinking about what you're going to do in the future. You know? But if you stop thinking about yourself, then you're in the moment. You know?
I mean, it's kind of weird because I'm kind of like that even now at work. I've gotten to the point that it's more than just I'm so busy and I have so many things to get done, and I feel like I'm always trying to play catch up and shit.
Yeah.
But I sit down and I'll have meetings and stuff, and I got to talk to people and do whatever. But my work days fly, dude. Like I get there at 7, and then all of a sudden it's like shit. I got to eat lunch, and then I'll go work out on my lunch, and then I'm there till 4, but it just goes by so fast. Whereas I remember, for the vast majority of my, oh man, I'm so congested. For the vast majority of my working years, it was always, I got to be here for 6 more hours. I got to be here for 2 more hours. Like I was always waiting for the chance to leave 5 minutes early just so I had that extra time.
Yeah.
And now it's like, it's not like that at all. It's like, all right, the day's going to fly by. I got to keep being productive. Otherwise I'm farther in the hole, and I'm just kind of like wading water by this point. Yeah.
I have that problem. I have the problem where I always want to get the fuck out of here. I need to get out.
Yeah.
Like right now. I don't know. Like a restaurant, like if I'm ready to go, it's time to go. I got to go. Like check, you know, like let's get the fuck out. And it doesn't even make sense because I'm not going anywhere. you know, like obviously I want to get out of my shift bartending as fast as possible. So I'll fucking, like last night we closed at 10. I was out there at 10:15, you know?
Yeah.
Busting I'm out of there before all the servers, you know, and I'm like driving home. I'm like, oh man, I just worked my ass off to get out of there, like as fast as I could. And I'm driving home and I'm like, I got nothing to do tonight. I'm just going to go home and sit there. But why'd I try so hard to get out? Like, I could have just, with half the effort, gotten out at 10:30 instead of 10:15. And my night would have basically been the same. Why'd I try so hard to get out faster? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's also just kind of like the state of mind of, if I'm not out of the building at 4 o'clock and I'm there till 4:03, my day is ruined. Like that's like, I just jumped to that conclusion. It's not true at all.
Right.
But it's just,
yeah.
I don't know. I space out a lot too. Like even yesterday I was driving home and I was like a half mile from my house, and the speed limit's 50 miles per hour. So I got to put my blinker on at a certain point of the road so I don't get rear-ended by some fucking jag off in a fucking Prius or something. And I start daydreaming, and then I'm like, oh shit, there's my fucking driveway. So I slap on the blinker. I fucking slam on the brakes. I freaking like drift into my driveway.
Yeah.
Like Tokyo drift in this bitch. And it's like, and it's like, I was literally just thinking 30 seconds ago, all right, like I'm going to pull into my driveway. I'll go inside and see the dogs. And then I'm thinking, all right, so I got to buy 4 handles of booze for the wedding. And then I'm like, oh shit. And then I just like fucking Vin Diesel this bitch. It's like, what am I doing, dude?
Yeah. That's great.
I had the, I only bought the liquor and the wine for the wedding yesterday, but it was definitely the biggest liquor purchase I've made in my life. It was like $550.
God damn.
That's with the promo of any like 12 and more bottles of wine, you save 15%. So I saved 15% because we got like 15 bottles of wine, but it's fucking expensive, dude.
How many people are going to be at the wedding?
Like $120.
$120. What time is the wedding?
It's 4. But you'll be staying at the venue, so you'll be aware of all this stuff.
Right. Okay. So the wedding's not till the afternoon. And then
but you'll be busy
right
from
after.
like 11 a.m. from like Saturday on. That you'll be busy.
Setting it up and everything?
Yeah, we got to take pictures and get dressed and all that bullshit.
Ah, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, dude, I'm looking forward to it. Next time next episode, you'll be a married man. Fucking showing off that ring of yours.
Yeah, I might wear I might actually wear my wedding attire to the pod. I might just do that. The white shirt with the suspenders and the bow tie. I might just rock that next week. I'm not even going to shower between Saturday and Monday afternoon when we actually do the pod.
What time do we have to get out of there on Sunday? Is there a checkout time? Do you know?
Like 10 a.m. or something.
Oh, okay, cool. Because our flight right now, we might extend it to Monday if we can, but our flight right now is Sunday afternoon anyway, so we'll be out early.
Yeah, we'll kind of figure it out when everybody's on site. But I mean, it's going to be you and Jimbo that are going to be there at the inn, and then Chuck will be there too. So it's just you 3 guys, and obviously your ladies as well.
Hell yeah. Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. Looking forward to it. Hey, so this week I did my first like black room in comedy.
What's that?
It was just like mostly black folks. There's a couple
of
honkies.
Blacks.
Yeah.
Room of black. Okay.
Yeah. Host is black. It wasn't technically like a black room, but it was mostly black people.
Was that picture?
Yeah.
Okay, I was looking at the picture and I saw you were tagged in, and I'm like, all right, where's the honky? And I was like scanning left to right, and it kind of took me an extra second to find you. You're like the only white guy standing in the background.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
It was good. It's funny because it's just I don't know. I don't want to say it's like different, but it's a different vibe. When there's a room full of honkies, it's definitely a different vibe than when there's less honkies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. The guy, I wouldn't even brought it up, but the host, cool guy, really funny. He brings me up and he's like, the next guy coming on stage is really, 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 really white. And I was like, oh, Christ, here we go. So I got up there and I was like, I was talking like a white guy, you know, like as a joke for the first. I'm like, I'm not that white. Come on. I mean, for this room I am. But then I was getting into like the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce jokes, you know. Like, I can't wait for the fucking CTE themed breakup songs and, you know, Travis Kelce scores 6s on and off the field. Shit like that. But it's funny because the hardest laugh I got was something like I wasn't planning on saying. It was just like Taylor Swift uses teeth when she gives head. And they're like, shit. They fucking loved it. Yeah. It was cool.
I actually saw that on Instagram. I saw that. It was Taylor Swift is the person that makes music for girls that give teethy head.
Oh, really? There you go.
Yeah.
She just looks like it. She's got that fucking, them teeth. Yeah. But it was good. Yeah. Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift. Travis Kelce's doing it, I think, for the publicity. 100%.
Yeah.
It's great. Did you see the stats of like how many more women watched the Chiefs game? Like it was like
his jersey sales went up 400% overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because even I was talking about it earlier with Emily, and she's like, yeah, this AI stuff's out of control. They already put together a breakup song, AI version with Taylor Swift talking about Travis Kelce. I'm like, yeah. And then I had to get into the whole eventually you're going to type in what you want to hear by who, and they'll make a song for you just like that. Does you think it'll get that far? I'm like, it's already fucking got that far, dude.
Yeah, they could already do that. Pretty damn close.
I'm going to make a full album by Metallica, and all they're going to be singing about is the Green Bay Packers, and I'm going to listen to it, and it'll be cool.
Yeah.
It's like, it's going to exist.
Bart Starr. Bart Starr. Yeah. That would be a horrible album. Just all about the Packers. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that. I don't even want to waste AI's effort doing that.
I can't wait till it gets to the point where, like, yeah, show me a movie with Johnny Depp 69ing Robert De Niro on a fucking pirate ship in outer space.
And then you hop on the podcast the next day and be like, guess what I did for 4 hours yesterday? I just watched this one scene.
Yeah. These shoes. You know?
So I did a shit ton of editing. Usually I just put something on Netflix in the background. I watched Crank 1 and 2. Have you ever seen those?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Those are high adrenaline. I love those movies, dude. Those are
good
cool
movies.
But what's your opinion on Jason Statham just as a whole? I like him. He's probably like one of my favorite male actors.
He's one of those guys where he kind of became a caricature of himself. I mean, he was like badass, and then he became like a joke, kind of. You know what I mean? Still good, but you know, he's like the corny, over the top badass guy now. That's in like even comedies. He's like the guest that's like, oh shit, it's Jason. You know what I mean? Jason Statham.
Yeah,
it's kind of like all those guys that are in. Like for example, I don't watch The Expendables. I haven't seen him since The Expendables 2.
Yeah,
but I guarantee he's in it, right?
I was literally about to just say that. The reason I brought it up is because I saw the Expendables 4 trailer, and he's in like over half of the scenes.
There you go.
Doing the punching and kicking, all the same shit.
Yeah.
If you just look up Jason Statham movie trailers, it's the same fucking shots in every single movie.
Yeah.
He's just in different settings, and there's different colored people that he's kicking.
Yeah, different colored people.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kicks the rainbow. He's yeah. He's like any of those guys though. You know, after a certain point, it's like, all right, we get it. You know, you're a badass, and now you're just kind of a joke of yourself, you know?
So where you live now, is there a venue for live music? Like, are there any bands that go through your area at all?
Good question. Yeah, for sure. There's live music all over Charlotte. It's not like a big music town, though. I would say it's more heavy comedy. But maybe that's just because I'm in the comedy scene. I don't know. So, I mean, we have the Bank of America Stadium, but that's where the Panthers play. You know, that's where they have big concerts and shit. Other than that, we don't really have like a baseball team or anything, so I don't know where else they would play.
I mean, we got the Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion. We've got even Hampton Beach Casino Ballroom, and then Wally's. Because I bring it up because I went to buy tickets for Nonpoint, which is like an old kind of like new metal band.
Yeah.
But they're at Wally's, and I messaged Kyle Ham, and I'm like, yo, you want to go? And he's like, yeah, get me tickets. So I look it up, and the first website I go to says it's $108. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, this band would never charge that. I do another Google search, $135. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I'm not, and it's a Sunday night too, so it's like, I'm not going to pay over $100 to see a band play for 45 minutes. Yeah. That's not, and they're playing at Wally's Pub, which is like a bar that holds 100 people. It's like, what the fuck's going on?
Seen Wally's
And then I go
Pub.
on Ticketmaster, $25. So it was like $35 per ticket, like after sales tax or whatever. But I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I feel bad for these fucking poor souls that go to this show, and I'm going to be going around and be like, how much you buy your ticket for? Oh, $108. Like, oh, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Should have shopped around, dude.
Well,
but it's like, it just blows my mind, dude.
If you buy a ticket for over $100 for fucking a show at Wally's, then that's natural selection. You deserve to pay it. Fucking idiot. What are you doing? You know, fucking weed out the weak. These fucking morons.
I mean, I don't know how much money bands make playing shows, but you shouldn't go to a Wally's Pub and be like, yeah, we've cleared $100,000. Yeah. Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous.
You probably can go to Wally's Pub and just be a customer and just sit at the bar and pretend that you're a customer, not pay anything.
Actually, now to think of the last time I was at Wally's, it was for Static X, and this is like when they were starting to like kind of revamp their whole kind of look. Because now they're going on tour with Seven Dust, so they're kind of like bigger now. But I was standing in line outside, and it's a lot. I mean, it's not the type of people you would probably associate yourself with. It's a lot of biker looking people, a lot of snake tattoos down the back of their necks, and all this shit. Of
course.
And this bald dude standing right in front of me just does one of these, and he just falls back and whacks his head on the pavement.
Oh my God.
And these people are standing around him, and like there's one guy, I'm a paramedic, let me take over the scene. And one person's like getting water, and some person's getting ice, and this guy's bleeding out the back of his head.
Jesus.
And it's like, what happened? And basically the outcome of this was he like came to, yeah, I didn't eat or drink anything today. It's like, buddy, it's 95 degrees out. It's 5 p.m. You've been drinking. I can smell the liquor on your breath. And he's like, yeah, I just don't feel well. It's like, yeah, buddy, you just fucking smacked your head going 50 miles an hour down to the concrete. It's like, what are you doing?
How old was this guy?
Probably 50s. So he fucking knows better. But a lot of these people don't. I mean, when Kyle Hamm's 50, he's going to be doing the same shit, you know?
Man, there's a lot of morons out there, huh?
You just called my friend Kyle a moron?
What? No, that's just... I didn't say that. I didn't say that. He's an acquired taste. He's the taste of grape swisher. Yeah. I don't know
this
if I
can
ever...
for you, Kyle. Thanks for making it all the way through the pod this week, buddy.
I think grape, if you made it this far, I think grape swishers are the opposite of an acquired taste. I think the more you smoke them, you outgrow them. You know? It's like one of those things. It's like the opposite of a coffee or an IPA. Like the more you smoke them, the more you realize this is garbage. You know?
So are you still off? So you haven't smoked vape or have you drank again? No?
Nope.
I haven't smoked in a week, which is like the longest time in like years.
Yeah.
And even like day 3 and 4 of not smoking, I can smell things that I smell every day, but I was like, oh, I can really smell the grass, and oh, I can really taste this food. Yeah. I think I've just kind of like numbed my senses from all the freaking bowls I've smoked and shit. It's like, what am I doing, dude?
Bowls of legal substance.
If you're in Vermont.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it. Dude, if my boss made it through 50 minutes of a fucking podcast, go ahead and fire me. I don't give a shit, dude.
Yeah. Challenge accepted. Yeah. I'm fucked. I don't tell anybody that I do a podcast that I work with. I'm not that crazy. You know?
I talked to my dad and just randomly goes, so what's the podcast? I'm like, what? He's like, what's your podcast? And I say it to him. He goes, okay, Ice Cream Sunday. I'm like, no, it's Cream Pie Sunday. Kathy, can you write this down? Is it Cream Pie Sunday? I'm like, it's Cream Pie Sunday. Yeah, I'm going to check it out. How do I look at it? And I'm like, let's go on YouTube. How do I find it on YouTube? Yeah. How do I find it on YouTube? Fucking type in Cream Pie Sunday. Yeah. He goes, okay. And I told him, I'm like, I know what you're going to do. You're going to fucking watch something up until something upsets you, and then you're going to bitch to me. And if you're going to do that, don't even fucking watch it in the first place, dude.
Yeah.
But it's like, I feel like he's trying to like build that connection between me and him, and he might even watch this at some point. But
all right. Well, that's good. But you know what? Like, we're not looking for feedback from our family and friends. Okay, guys.
Not from my 7-year-old father. No, I'm not. I don't really care about his opinion, but on this.
The most annoying thing is doing stand-up and the amount of people. I can't just be funny with somebody now. Like, if I'm funny with like my brothers or my dad or one of my friends that's not one of my comedian friends, I was like, dude, that's your new bit. You got to do that on stage. Dude, why don't you do this? Oh, I have a joke idea for you. Like, dude, I'm not looking for help here. He's like,
yeah,
you know, can I just like say something funny without you being like, oh, dude, you should do that on stage. You should do that. I'm like, I'm not testing material on you. I'm just trying to hang out.
Well, that's totally true. Yeah, no, I can see people doing that. Like, oh, this would be a good bit. Yeah, it's like, dude, shut your mouth. Yeah. But the problem is you have to go, yeah, no, it would be. Like, maybe.
Yeah.
No. You know?
Yeah, try and change subjects politely, like move on. But, and they always have like the dumbest ideas. Like, dude, why don't you just go up there and just talk about how Joe Biden's a retard? Like, it'd be hilarious. And it's like, no, you don't get it. That's not, you can't just go up there and be like, Joe Biden's it doesn't work like that. First of all, half the audience is going to hate you because that's the way it is. Second of all, there's no joke there. Where's the joke? You know, like, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Way it is. Way she goes. You want to wrap this thing up?
Yeah, I'll. Yeah, you set it up, and I'll knock. You throw the ball, I'll knock it out of the park. Let's do it.
Hey everybody, it's been another real one. It's fall. Get your winter coats ready. Get your flannel on. Get your pumpkin spice lattes, you queefs. It's been another real one. Me and Rick are here, and we're going to be back next week. But until then,
keep it creamy.
All right. Rock and roll.